I want a closer relationship with Jesus, right? We're all raising our hand. So let's talk about how do we get there. Turn with me to Matthew chapter 6. And we're just going to look at 2 verses. For time's sake, we're going to move along. We're going to look at verses 5 and 6, okay? And you guys are probably like, yo, where's the word been at? Y'all know normally, man, I'm delivering the word, right? We're about to get into this right now. So prepare your fingers. Be ready to move. Matthew chapter 6, verse 5 and 6 is what we're going to look at. And here's what it says in the ESV. Is that right? Matthew chapter 6. That's why I was in 5. Sorry. All right, so here it is. The Lord's Prayer, right? Jesus says, and when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites. For they love to stand and pray in the synagogue and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. Understand there, Jesus is not saying don't pray out in public. It's not like, yo, you need to hide out every time you pray. What he is saying is don't pray to be seen by others. Okay? So here, we move on to verse 6, and he says, but when you pray, go into your room and shut the door. And pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. See, if we desire a closer walk, then we must actually take the time to be with him. We must take the time to say, you know what? I've got to close the door and I need to just get away with God for a minute. Not because all hell is breaking loose, but because I want a closer walk with him. I'm not feeling beat down right now. I'm feeling good. And God, that's all the more reason for me to come into your presence and thank you. And then after I'm done thanking you, to sit and listen. 30 seconds, yo, we were squirming. I felt awkward. Like, dang, man. You know, see people looking at me. I feel weird. Are they watching me swallow? Like, what's, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So he said, go away in secret, pray to your Father in secret, and he will reward you. We need to take time to be with him. Turn to Mark chapter 3. And guys, here's what's so great about this. Here's what's so great about this, because you may be in a situation where you feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I want a closer walk, but God, I am such a mess. God, I don't want silence and solitude because it forces me to face my mess. And so I know if I read your word and I stay there, then you're going to talk to me, and maybe I really don't want that. Maybe I really don't want to be faced with the stark obey or disobey. So if I just keep my ears closed, keep moving along. But I want you to see something here. This was pointed out to me this week in Mark chapter 6. Look at in Mark chapter 3, I apologize. Mark chapter 3, verses 13 and 14 is what we're going to read. And I want you to get this. It says, and he went up on the mountain, this is Jesus, and called to him those whom he desired, and they came to him. And he appointed 12, whom he also named apostles, so that they might be with him, and he might send them out to preach, in verse 15, and have authority to cast out demons. Now here's what's so crazy, right? See, we got the whole story here. So we could read through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We could read through the book of Acts. We can see how flawed the disciples were, right? Would you guys say that Peter was a guy that would sit in silence often? Right? There's a guy who stayed popping off at the mouth. And I don't say that disrespectfully because, some of us are like that. Right? And so, listen what he says. Once again, verse 13, and he went up on the mountain and called to him those whom he what? He called to him those whom he desired. If you are a child of the living King, yo, he desires you. He called you to be his child. And he says he took those that he desired, he took them up on a mountain. Look, it says, whom he desired, and they came to him. Verse 14, and he appointed 12 so that they might what? So that they might what? What's it say up there? Do you guys understand what that means? That means that he desired for them, for us to be with him. He wasn't like, okay, once you guys get it right, then come on in. Once you guys get all of that figured out, then you come talk to me. No, he said, right now, I called you, I chose you, come on and be with me. Come spend some time with me. Do we want the relationship, a closer walk with him, or do we only want the benefits?